Hi, I'm Charles Curtis Tucker.
And I am Lupita Tucker.
We own Tucker Educational Services. Please check out the channel here, check out the websites that we have. We will put a bunch of links in the description of this video. And this video is specifically about dual enrollment here in the state of Florida. Dual enrollment for high school level students at the college.
Okay, so first of all, we just want to let you know that we are making this video essentially because we've had a lot of questions from members of our group. We have a Facebook group called Florida Homeschoolers Dual Enroll, and we invite you to join it. Essentially, we decided to make a video that would answer all of the basic questions about dual enrollment and tying everything together. We have researched this topic extensively, both for our own family and our own children, as well as for the members of our group. Curtis and I have 5 children, and 2 of our children currently are dual enrolled at our local state college and have been dual enrolled for the past 2 years.
This information is not the end all of everything about even dual enrollment, which is what our subject is. Just that as we've gone along, we have found out that this is a pretty good thing, and it can be a good thing. Doesn't mean it's good for everybody, but I just want you to know that, number one, this is one of the topics that's really kind of hot right now, and a lot of people don't know anything about it. But we've gotten our information mainly from the Florida Department of Education, a lot of interviews, and with universities admissions people, college admissions people, and Brenda Dickinson has been key in our life in learning about everything we can learn about home education, including dual enrollment for high school students at the college.
And there seems to be a lot of mystery about dual enrollment, and so we really are going to demystify the process with this video. We believe in sharing, and we believe that sharing information helps empower parents to make the best decisions for their students, for their children. And so, even though we have experience in this topic and with our own children and with all of the research that we've done, we're also still learning and discovering new things all the time about dual enrollment. So that's why we encourage you to join the group, because anything that we learn or discover, we're going to share it with the members of our group, and so you can glean from what we gather as well. Right. Okay, so let's get started.
What exactly is dual enrollment, Lupita?
Dual enrollment is where a high school student takes college courses at their local state college. The courses earn college credit, and when that student earns the college credit, that credit also counts towards their high school credits. So the key word is dual enrollment. They're enrolled in high school, be it public, private, or homeschool, and also dual enrolled at the college. So they're dual enrolled, and the credits that they earn at the college count towards high school credit as well.
Who can dual enroll?
Okay, so specifically in the state of Florida, we have a statute. It's called the Dual Enrollment Statute, and we'll reference it in the description so you can look at it yourself. But in essence, what it says is that any student that is between 6th and 12th grade is eligible to dual enroll at their local state college.
Now I get to jump in there, right?
Wait, no. The student must be taking high school level courses. So that's the key there. They can be in 6th grade, but they have to be taking high school level courses.
Now I get to jump in.
One more thing. The student must be taking high school level courses and making a 3.0 or higher in that course or in those courses in order to be eligible.
So as a Florida certified teacher, I get to jump in here and say, how a lot of us think because of the whole public school mentality and even private schools and all the world of academia. The 6th grade student, first of all, how the state does that in the counties is 12-year-old goes into 6th grade. basically. So if they're 12 years old or older, and also the 6th grade level, so to speak, is based upon, once again, the public school standards. What is a 6th grade level class?
Right.
I also will mention that now in homeschooling, by law, grade level is not required to be specified. So anyway, there's a little bit of craziness can go on there.
It can cause confusion.
That's
So
why
here's
we're
what you
doing
need to
all these
know.
things to.
Exactly. So this is the mythology, the myth that surrounds all this stuff. So here's the thing. You as a homeschooling parent, by law, are who determine what grade level your child is at. So that's important for you to realize. Next, the statute on dual enrollment was written long before the statute that says that we don't have to declare grade level. Also, the statute on dual enrollment originally was just for public school students, and then later was expanded and homeschool students were added to it. So it's not going to be perfect, but we're just explaining this also so that you understand. So they put grade levels between 6 and 12. So that is up to your interpretation of where your child is. No one can tell you what grade level your child is in except for you. And also doing high school level courses, now that means that they're using something that you can prove is at the high school level. You can't just say, oh, this is high school level. It has to be at the high school level. And that's only to your child's advantage. You do not want to say your child's ready for high school level courses or college level courses when they're not. So those are things you need to keep in mind. So let's back up a little bit and let's start from the beginning again. Okay.
You read my
so what's
mind.
the question?
Who can dual enroll?
According to the Florida State Statute, any student between the grade 6th grade and 12th grade who is doing high school level courses is eligible to dual enroll. That student must be making a 3.0 or higher at the high school level. And they must take the PERT and place in college ready they must take the PERT, hold on, I got it. They must take the PERT and place as college ready in the reading and writing portions in order to be eligible to dual enroll in most cases. There is a little thing I wanted to add there. If your child has already taken the SAT or the ACT, their scores can be used as a replacement for the PERT. So that's something to bear in mind. And also, in some very, very few cases, the state college uses a different test, an older test called the CPT, College Placement Test. And so then your child would have to take the CPT test and not the PERT test. But that's all you need to know about that.
There's where I have a little disclaimer for some places around. As I said, we're sharing information that is completely accurate. At the same time, the state colleges, even though they're all Florida state colleges, they have a little variation. They have the ability to give a little wiggle room, as they say, in different areas
Right.
of applying and receiving and accepting applications for dual enrollment.
Exactly.
So,
So
we
there-
will cover some of those in
I'm
the
just
next
gonna-
category.
Right, so just to add to that, so there's 28 colleges in the Florida State College system.
But in,
Every single one of those colleges has to follow this statute. However, the statute does give them some leeway in adding or taking away to the different requirements based on their resources. So if the college does not have enough resources to service all of the students that fall under these categories, they can add an extra measure of eligibility in order to restrict the amount of students that become eligible for dual enrollment because they just don't have enough resources to serve them all. So just keep that in mind. So everything that we share here is going to be the most general information with the caveat that you need to look at what your state college says on their website because it might be slightly different, but in general, all of these things are the same.
as far as we know,
Okay.
what about the state? There's a few state universities.
That's a different video. State
Okay.
universities don't have to follow the statute because state universities, some of them do offer dual enrollment, but that's a great question because yes, Florida International University, Florida Atlantic University, University of Central Florida, a ton. UNF, even University of Florida offer dual enrollment classes, but they are not part of the Florida State College system. They are part of the Florida State University system, and so they don't have to follow the statute. So they can allow dual enrollment if they want to, but they can make up their own rules.
What are the types of dual enrollment, Lupita?
Okay, so there's technically there's just 2 types, but there's a potential 3rd type as well. Again, this depends on your local state college. Some colleges have the 3rd type, some don't, and some handle type 2 differently than others. But in essence, there's regular dual enrollment, which is your child is a dual enrolled student and they take
Part-time.
as many credits as the state college allows them to take per semester as a regular dual enrolled student.
And our second child was 14 when she started.
Right. So in other words, they were regular dual enrolled students.
Part-time.
They didn't do more than what the state college allowed them to do per semester. At our state college, students can dual enroll for 3 courses per semester. It doesn't matter how many credits each one of those are. That could be 4 credit courses, it could be 3 credit courses, a combination of all 3, whatever, just 3 courses. And over the summer, they can take 1 course per summer session. So we tried to maximize that as much as possible. With regular dual enrollment, it's going to depend on your state college because remember, they can impose restrictions depending on what their resources are. So some state colleges have no limits. Some state colleges, students can take as many credits as they want to, or as a full-time student can. And in some state colleges, only dual enrollment students can only take 1 course per semester. So it really depends, but that's what regular dual enrollment means, that they're just dual enrolled the way the state college has determined that they can.
Now, when you declare your student to be a senior at technically the 12th grade level, their options open there.
Yes, so now there's another form of dual enrollment that's called early admission. Early admission is a form of dual enrollment because your child has not graduated from high school yet, and they are still enrolled in your homeschool and at the college. Dual. But it's called early admission because they're allowed to take a full course load in the fall and the spring semesters as a regular college student would at any college, like for example 15 credits per semester, which is equivalent more or less of 5 or 6 classes depending on what the courses are. Now, early admission, the process to do early admission varies by state college. In our state college, the students have to apply for early admission in the month of May. They have to, I have to provide a transcript. They have to have a 3.5 GPA, I think. And they also have to write an essay saying why they want to do early admission, why they think it would be beneficial for them. And it is an admittance. They have to gain admission to that program. But once they gain admission to that program, then they can take full course loads and they can do the equivalent of 1 full year of college the last year of their high school.
Those last 2 semesters.
So that's like 1 full year of free college, including textbooks if you're registered via letter of intent.
Now, to do the early admissions though, they have to have passed all the areas of the PERT, right?
Yes.
Unlike not passing the math or like our children did at first, not passing the math, they can still go in as a dual enrolled, regular dual enrolled
at our
part-time.
state college, yes. It's
and
not like
so
that
it
at
might
all state
vary
colleges.
at some of them, so check on that.
Yeah.
Don't let people tell you that it's this or that, and especially the high schools where they don't really talk about it much, but as we said, some high school students are doing it, but most of the time at the high schools on their websites and everything, they make it sound like it's only allowed if you're a junior or senior in high school, in public high school. You have to be 16 at least, or 17 years old, or junior, senior. That's not exactly true. So,
it's not true, because the state
not at all, but
statute is what everyone has to follow, and the state statute says
Right.
if they're in between the grades of 6th and 12th grade, that they can dual enroll as long as they meet the other criteria. So that's important for you to know as a homeschool student.
So
If you're trying to weigh out the different possibilities, just know that many parents who've had their child in the public school, the guidance counselors just don't tell them this information.
some of them don't seem to know it. Some just, the attendance at the public school is very important to them, so we think that's one of the issues there. They don't want them going off campus to dual enroll at the college. And some of the schools have tried to prevent that by certifying a teacher to do college classes at the school.
Yeah,
But I
sometimes
said
they do.
that and got a little bit off track, because what the point that I wanted to make was that the regular dual enrollment, they might not have passed all of the sections, the reading, writing, and math of the PERT. They can still dual enroll regular. When they get to the senior year, you declare them
Early
to be a
admissions.
senior, they still have to pass that part that they didn't to be early admissions. But that's where the little kind of third category comes in.
Right.
Even if they haven't, their last semester, usually their spring semester of their senior year as a dual enrolled high school college student, they have the option at most colleges to do what?
It's called full-time dual enroll. And you have to ask your advisor if this is available at your state college. But you as a homeschooling parent, which is also the guidance counselor of your school, can decide, can give your student permission to full-time dual enroll the last semester of their high school year, the last semester of their senior year, of their final homeschool year. Which means that they can take a full course load at the state college.
Which is different, once again, from early admissions.
Right.
Switching them when you say they're a senior and they're getting ready to graduate, and you switch them from dual enrollment to early admissions. If they can't do that because of their status on the testing, the PERT, which is the college dual enrollment test, that we recommend that one, because that's the quickest and the easiest and most simple way to get into the dual enrollment. When we were talking about how to get into it, take the PERT. There's a couple of other things to do, but if they haven't finished all that or passed all of it, they can still continue dual enrollment at the regular status, and their last semester they can
Do full-time.
full-time as opposed to having early admissions. So
Right.
it's
So
a big
you
advantage.
have
There's a lot of advantages.
different things available to you, which is fantastic. So
All
now that we've sold
depends
you,
on the dynamics of your family. Yeah, it all depends on the dynamics of your family, your goals,
Your
what you
academic
want them.
goals of your child.
Yeah, and we're thinking and hoping that by the time they're 13 or 14 and they are doing Algebra 1 and things that are considered high school level, that they would probably be mature enough to go into it. Hopefully, at least by the time they're 16 or 17, they'll be mature enough to do it, as much as some of us are reluctant to kind of start,
Right.
getting them out there. And they're fighting and pushing and crying to get out there. But look at this. It's a better option, really better option, than going to the public schools, charter school, whatever, even some of the private schools, because they're not going to waste as much time with things and not be as distracted, and they're going to be around more serious students. Usually, generally speaking, they're going to be around more serious students, even those public students that are dual enrolling.
Yeah, totally. So now that you know all of the basics, let's go to how to, which is what are
the steps to dual enrollment?
Okay, so essentially the steps to dual enrollment consist of you preparing the documentation that you need to prove that your child is at the high school level and making the proper GPA in order to be eligible. That would be the first step. So in order to do that, you would need to prepare some sort of a transcript for them, which we can help you with if you need help with. Also, we have an article that we'll put a link to in the comments, in the description, that you can read and kind of get an idea of how to get that ball rolling. Okay, the next thing is, so that would be step 1, make a transcript. Step 2, sign your child up to take the PERT. So what you do is you call up the testing center at your local state college and you tell them, my student is going to be dual enrolled, they need to take the PERT, when can they take it? Once they take the PERT, then you'll know whether to follow, you'll have other steps to follow. If they place at the college level, then the next thing you will do is you will fill out the application, you will fill out and sign the articulation agreement with the college, because every homeschool must sign and fill out an articulation agreement with the college, and you as the school official are the one who signs that. And that paperwork is usually found, so let me just say, if the school allows you to register online, then great. If the school requires you to download the paperwork, print it out, and fill it out, and then take it, then that's what you'll do. It just depends on the college. Some colleges do it on paper, still do paper. Some colleges have started to do online registration. But regardless, the process is the same. You have to fill out an application and sign a bunch of stuff. Then you must attend a mandatory dual enrollment orientation. All dual enrolled students have to attend this orientation with their parent, ideally, because that orientation is going to explain all the details that your specific state college needs for your student and you as the school official and guidance counselor to know in order for your child to be a successful dual enrolled college student at their college. Once your child has done all of these steps, you have presented the transcript, they've taken the PERT, you've submitted the application, they've done the orientation, then your child will be officially admitted to the college and you'll get notified, and then you have to make an appointment with an advisor who will then help you choose the classes and register your child for the classes that they will take. Advisement appointments must be in person for dual enrolled students. That is mandatory in almost every state college that I know of. There could be one that doesn't have that requirement, but anyway, that's important. So attend the advisement appointment as soon as you can, so that you can go ahead and select the courses and the times and the dates. And once you've done that,
you're in like Glenn.
Yay!
So look at the other video about popular courses if you want to know some of our experience and some of the things we've learned from other people, especially through this group you keep talking about.
Yeah, so the name of our Facebook group is Florida Homeschoolers Dual Enrolled, and we invite you to join.
Please keep in mind that this video is really a recorded counseling session. We do educational counseling and consulting and coaching. So this is basically us recording a consulting session on dual enrollment so that you can watch this several times and go through all of it. And if you have any questions or anything you need about anything at any time, we'll be happy to schedule time with you to do counseling and coaching. We do it all the time, and we're very happy to help with anything, anytime. So look at the videos, ask questions. Once again, in the comments, we will try to keep up with it. Call us if you want, and please know that you can take control of your family's education.
Yes. Thanks for watching.